Yeah. It's going showers and thunderstorms, some possibly severe embedded tornadoes.
Oh, brother.
That's okay. But it doesn't start. It's not going to start till after 5 and probably 6, between 6 and 7.
How about later, like 10?
It's going to be dark, and I'm going to be in bed.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. We'll see you guys.
All right.
Haluska's supposed to be calling in here in a few minutes.
Oh, good.
But yeah, I mean, Minnesota had already fired their coach by now. They did it at 1:19 in the morning.
Isn't that crazy?
That's when they announced it. The night they lost. So at least Iowa's lasted. Fran's lasted longer than that. I mean,
but really, couldn't they wait till the morning?
They asked Fran about the crown, and Fran's going to say, I mean, I think everything Fran's doing right now is pretty calculated. I really do. And he's saying that he thinks they're going to play in the crown. I'm just wondering if they'll have a roster full enough. You have to have 7 scholarship players, I believe. And I mean, that's the portal opens up here a week before the crown, I believe. I'm not saying there's going to be a mass exodus, but if they are getting rid of Fran, it's going to happen before the crown.
Yes.
There's no way they're going to drag almost 3 weeks and not let us know anything. It's going to happen here shortly if they're getting rid of him, or if they're going to announce he's going to stay not one more year. But like I said, I'm thinking that he's probably coached his last game. And, I mean, the NIT starts Tuesday.
Yeah.
I mean, but everyone seems to think that it's more of the crown. Is this Adam?
Yes.
Okay, sorry. I'll stop rambling. Hey, Adam.
Speaking of a man who wears a crown around town.
Yeah, that's true. He does work.
Hey, I love the weather report before. That was good.
It'll be on all day.
Doesn't it sound like fun?
When does Tommy get back? When does Tommy get here?
10 or so.
And then Molly they'll be here all day reporting the weather, won't they?
Yes.
In anticipation.
Yes.
Yep.
At Severe Studios.
What if it's not as bad as it's? What if it doesn't turn out to be as bad as what?
Then they're going to play a third game
today. Well, will you be okay?
Go in tonight. Yes, because I'll be home.
Okay.
Will I be okay?
Well, I know you love storms and you love weather. So, all right, Adam. Let's just start. Should we just put him on the spot right to begin with?
Let's put him on the spot. Start squirming.
Has Fran coached his last game for the Hawkeyes?
I think it's 50-50, and I'm not trying to take the easy way out. I really don't know. I don't know what she'll do. I don't think he's done anything that's warranted, bad performance or, as far as just teams. Obviously, people want to see Sweet 16s and tournament appearances, but on the flip side, he's got a lot of, arguments of, hey, I've got good guys. We've had incredible players come through here, guys that are making an impact at the next level, guys that graduate. We have probably one of the smallest NIL buckets in the Big Ten.
It's one of the smallest, yeah.
When you start looking at that, and, there's obviously other things going on, but, Fran has represented the university. He's given his time and done a great job. And, again, there's the argument of going a different direction, or, has he done enough where, we've been in the dumps and the program's been in shambles? I don't think that's the case. Now, there's momentum that's clearly been lost with attendance and just excitement. But on the flip side, you had a generational player come through on the women's side that really pulled a lot of, when you start looking at season ticket holders, or even if you hold both, I think you saw it in some of the numbers where, I don't know, what season tickets were like 9,000, but we were averaging about 5,500 or so.
5,034, I believe, was the Gazette had it. 5,034 was the average for the home 18 games, and that's believed to be the lowest attendance since 1964. Yeah. So right about when I was
incredible.
Born. Yeah.
And again, we've talked about this too. I think there are people that are season ticket holders. I know many of them. They just happen to choose, maybe because of timing or whatever, to go to some of the women's games. But it has been a struggle where some of these game times and high school sports and other things going on. It's an excuse, and everybody's dealing with it across the country. But it is kind of the truth when that is going on. It makes it just a little bit tougher. And again, that's why I think it could go 50-50, whether he stays or we look for a change.
And this is not a Ben Johnson type situation. As much as I respect Ben Johnson, Fran's been here 15 years. Ben was there forward. Never had. I don't think they had a winning season. Fran
Had one.
I mean, did they have one? Okay. Fran has had 7 NCAA tournament appearances. They won the Big Ten in 22. You can't really compare the two. Fran's problem is they haven't won an NCAA tournament game since 21. They hadn't won a Big Ten tournament game prior to this year since 22. And then the fan apathy. That's the things you can't overlook. And like I said, I think he deserves one more year based on body of work. Now, if you factor in attendance, then it becomes a little more complicated. But these people acting like they know what Beth Getz is thinking, nobody knows. Other than maybe a select. I mean, here's Adam, one of the best players in pro. You have no clue what she's thinking. You haven't talked to Beth Getz.
No, and again, I think obviously newer AD, she's coming in, she's kind of laying the groundwork of what improvements need to be made. Is there renovation stuff that Carver needs? What the NIL bucket, I think, is a big deal.
That's
you can
the
get rid
biggest
of coaches, but if you don't have money anymore to pay these guys, it's a problem. And Fran, I know the players really enjoy playing for him. You can see it.
Oh, yeah. No, that's not an
We're
issue.
not having the defects of other programs where guys are jumping ship. Not that we don't, but it's going to happen from time to time. And it seems like I really appreciate all that he's done in the entire coaching staff. We've got really good people on staff.
I agree with you.
We're getting these Midwestern kids that I enjoyed. I mean, that's how I grew up to become a Hawkeye fan. Like, I grew up watching the Chris Streets and Jess Settles and, Andre Wojcic's of the world. Like, I resonated with those guys and, could watch them all 4 years or however long they played. That was a connection piece, and Fran has kind of kept that going, and it's awesome to watch, Price and Peyton, and you get these other ones, Brock, Harding, Owen Freeman, and there's all kinds of local talent, even Evan Bronze. I mean, I love seeing that kind of stuff. Kingsbury's son as a walk-on having a role here late in the season.
I'll say, Adam, as a longtime season ticket holder and a Hawkeye fan since I was 5, the attendance has been kind of watching the attrition. Just even throughout the year has been almost alarming. And I think Fran has his body of work does not deserve to be fired in my eyes, okay? But the attendance problem is exactly that, a big problem.
But, the other thing, too, I've talked to some people, just in general terms, do you think some of these colleges really, they care about attendance, no doubt, but the amount of TV money and everything that's being generated, it almost comes second nature. Where 15, 20 years ago, it was all about attendance.
Good point.
Putting butts in the seats. Now it's like you've got so much money flowing in from.
It just looks bad on TV.
It's like it doesn't really matter.
Well, Iowa's ranked 10th in attendance in the Big Ten. Think about there's 8 teams with worse. That's I think Scott Docterman, the Athletic, had they listed the attendance in Iowa was 10th. I believe USC's last. I mean, I'm like telling you, USC basketball games there, it's like the primetime league. Seriously, people pass through the gym on their way. Hey, look, they're playing basketball. That's just how it is.
And Washington's like that.
Yeah, and it's just but to think that Iowa is having this attendance crisis right now, and they're 10th in the conference. There's 8 teams worse than them in the Big Ten. That goes to what Adam says about television revenue. They don't care that much because of the money coming in, but it still looks bad on when you.
Well, then break out the curtains and stuff like the women used to do.
Can you imagine if they did that with the men?
Well,
But that would not be.
And I still think the model, Carver's kind of outdated. It's a giant hole. I love that place, right? It's where I played and grew up watching games when I was a kid. It pulls on the heartstrings for me. Like, it's a special place. However, with the way college sports in general are changing and people are wanting the suites and they're wanting something different. I mean, is it better if we would look at going to a 10,000-seat arena that's got suites and is a multi-purpose facility? I don't know if that's obviously the money situation that's a whole nother discussion, but would it, in today's modern game, is it better to go to a smaller arena where you can pack it and put the kids down low, the students, and really try to get it loud in there?
I think that's a good suggestion, and the reason you could get away with that, Adam, is because what you were saying previously. The television revenue would easily make up for the loss in ticket revenue from seating and what have you. But yeah, I don't know how much it would cost to do those renovations at Carver Hawkeye Arena. That would be millions, wouldn't it?
Yeah, and it's a tough
absolutely.
place. I mean, it's just again, you talk to people that go to games and stuff. It's not an easy arena to get in and out of with the steps and all that. And it's just, even with kids, you go sit down and you're 10 rows from the bottom, and then all of a sudden you run up for a bathroom break or a ice cream cone, or and I don't mind it, but I know some people are like, it's just it's easier to watch it at home.
Oh yeah,
Well,
those steps,
an
much
exciting
easier.
team and an exciting product, people will come back pretty quick.
Those steps aren't easy.
It's just whatever's kind of the popular thing right now, and for now, women's basketball is pulling a lot of those fans over.
Yeah, and it's not rocket science. They're not winning enough to offset all the other issues. The last 2 years, they just haven't won enough. That 22 team with Keegan Murray, that arena was packed for a lot of those games. It was rocking in there because they were winning, and it just hasn't. They're just vulnerable. When they start to lose games, then all the other stuff kicks in. It has to be the perfect storm. It has to be the right time, right day of the week, right opponent. Iowa has to be playing well. Then you can get a decent fan support in there, but that doesn't happen enough. I almost sort of give Fran not a pass for this year, but I think with Owen Freeman, they would have won maybe 1 or 2 more games. You win 2 more games and you're 9-11 in the Big Ten, you're probably in the NCAA tournament.
Probably so.
And this whole narrative changes more than likely. Don't you think, Adam?
Well, I agree, and it is tough. I mean, you look at some of these opponents we've dropped games to, even early on. I mean, Michigan was a winnable game when we played them early on in the year. That would have been a great quad 1 win. I mean, there's challenges. Other teams have had challenges. You look at Illinois start, kind of what they're doing now that they're healthy. And, I mean, Iowa State's another one. They were rocking and rolling all throughout the first part of the season. Injury bug is kind of jumping on them. And I think, TJ is probably looking forward to a little break here to get some guys healthy and ready before NCAA tournament starts. I just think that it's been an awkward year, and, who knows what's going to happen. I do think fans, because I ask around, and I know you talk to people want to see defense a little bit more, right? In the beginning when we had Licklider, it's like, well, we're not scoring enough, and then Frank comes in, and he's got one of the more high-potent offenses in the Big Ten, and now you look at a game like last night, I was watching with my brother, and I just said, man, if you're going to give up 100, 106, you got to score 108. That's a lot.
Yeah, you can't do that.
Part of the reason they struggle so much on defense is because of their offense. They just go through so many changes in possession. There was a part in that game where neither team was playing any defense. I mean, how many times did you see a guy dribble down the court and get to the ball?
All-Star game for a while.
Yeah. How many times did you see a guy get to the basket uncontested through a wave of people?
Primetime league.
Yeah. I mean, it was
primetime league. And you're right. I mean, when you look at that discrepancies, we did not rebound well. They were animals on the board, especially offensively. We got out-rebounded 24-41. Other than that, a lot of stats were pretty similar.
Yeah.
We only turned the ball over 5 times.
Yeah. Free throws were
I think it was 2 in
killer.
the first half. I mean, we had some things in our favor. We shot it well. Obviously, guys like Peyton and Josh and some of these guys stepped up. But there is a glaring hole when you don't have Owen Freeman in there to go against some of those bigger bodies and get those easy buckets down low. And we didn't shoot hardly any free throws because, Pat, you made the point. When you're shooting mid-range jumpers and threes, you're not getting a lot to the basket.
No.
You're not going to get rewarded with free throws.
And when they did shoot him, Drew, I felt so bad for Drew. He was 1 for 5 from 3, and then Price even missed a free throw. Now, granted, it ended up not being about free throws, but there was a while there where free throws were killing Iowa.
Yeah, I mean, especially before halftime, you're looking at those are big possessions.
Yeah.
And you miss 3, and then you miss 1 here, and it's like, wow. There's opportunities. It's just we needed to keep it close, and when it got to like that 12 or 13, and obviously when Fran, got ejected, that we have about 13 minutes left.
Yes,
down
13-33.
And
he had
we
his
responded. I mean, the guys came back and
They did.
Like I said, I'll never speak ill of this team. I mean, I think they grinded and played as hard as they could to try to make this another run and get a win. They fought to the very end, but that's 106 points in a regular, non-overtime game is a lot of points to give up.
Yes, it is.
Well, and the 2 previous games, our defense was markedly better. But then last night, it was just absolutely non-existent.
And I think part of it was because they were playing a better team.
Well, that's
I think that was
sure.
part of it. But I also think sometimes some of these teams kind of lure Iowa in. Okay, let's run. You want to run? We're going to run right with you.
If you want to make it a track meet, let's go.
Because they have more depth and more athleticism.
But those teams are built to run like that.
Yes. I'll tell you, though, Adam, Peyton showed yesterday why he'll have NBA interest. I mean, I kept reminding myself the guy doing that is listed at 6'8" now. You know, that was pretty how quick he was getting those threes off. I like the one where he dribbled the length of the court, went to the basket, then kind of spun and got his back to the bat, and then turned around and made like an 8-foot fadeaway when he was on that roll. That was some good basketball by Peyton.
Yeah, I mean, he's so streaky. When he's on, he's on.
He is.
That one turnaround three right before halftime.
That was tough.
Was a big-time shot right in his face. I mean, and those are shots that we see time and time again. He can get a shot off on about anybody. And again, when you're in the NBA, if that's a possibility for him, he's the guy that's standing in the corner just waiting on a kick out.
He's Duncan Robinson.
So much time.
Yeah.
Whereas now everybody's keying on him. If you watch it, they're like, don't let him go off. He's getting face guarded, and there really is, he's coming off any kind of screen or any kind of action, he is getting heavy defensive presence. So the next level, he's going to have so much room out there, he may not know what to do with himself.
Well, I think he's Duncan Robinson, maybe not quite as consistent as a three-point shooter, but with a better all-around offensive game. And Duncan Robinson's made millions of dollars in the NBA. He's stuck in the league.
Shooters.
Yeah.
And they love, I mean, we've talked about it before. I think, you know, when I went in there, it's all about how quick can you get it off.
Yeah.
You know, my initial critique when I started, you know, playing and working out there was, hey, you jump too high on your shot. You got to get it off quicker.
Peyton
Instead of being like that, you know, high jump shooter, you watch these guys, it's how quick can they get it off and barely have their feet leave the floor. I mean, Peyton's got a perfect shot.
He
for the
does.
next level.
And his brother's the same way. They both have learned that quick release, and it's going to be interesting to see. Price Sanford showed he's got a chance to be a pretty good player. I mean, he's going to get way more, assuming he stays. I mean, the roster, I mean, Adam, can you see them playing in the Crown, a tournament that doesn't start for 17 days?
This is the scary part for Iowa fans. You know, be careful what you wish for or ask for. These guys, I mean, there could be high turnover on this team, and it's not because they don't like Iowa or they don't like
No,
it could just simply be about money. And you start looking at the lineups like Dix and some of these other guys, as loyal as they are and wanted to grow up and be a Hawkeye, if you can go make double, triple, quadruple of what you're doing
Which
right
they
now,
can.
and you see all of your peers doing that, I don't see how you don't test the waters.
No, and they will. I've got it on pretty good authority. I'm not going to write it. I'll just say it here because it's just radio. And but I've been told that Freeman's going to probably draw $1 million from a couple schools, maybe close to $1 million, and Dix is going to do not quite that much. But I think at Iowa, from what I can tell, if they got the 1.1 to 1.5 to spread around, you can't give one guy really much more than $250,000, which sounds great, doesn't it, in the big scheme of things? But it really isn't. And I mean, if you're Owen Freeman and you can quadruple or triple your value and the head coach who recruited you is no longer here, why would you stay?
Yeah.
It's crazy. I mean, we're having this discussion, and you know, imagine that it's basically a professional team that you're building, and you're just saying, hey, we need. I mean, it happens overseas, right? The better teams naturally have the bigger budgets. Why do these, you know, big EuroLeague teams, or you know, you look at overseas, they're pulling the best talent. They can turn over a team if they want to, you know, how much can they spend? And it's the guys in the teams that just don't have the budgets. They're not able to compete. They might get one or two guys, right, that they can pay and get some role guys. But when you've got a lineup of 4 or 5 guys that you're paying big money to, it's hard to compete against. You're putting an all-star team together, and you can change it over every year if you want.
Yeah.
So, Adam, how much thinking have you put into it saying, man, if I'd only been born 20 years later?
I'll be honest, I zero, because I loved the era that I went through. I thought it was pure. I thought people, you know, did it for the right reasons, and I've told people I would have paid out of pocket. They said, hey, you got to pay $100,000 to suit up and play your 4 years at Iowa or 3 years. I would have did it in a heartbeat. So
that's neat.
Yeah, that's an interesting
That is
take.
great.
Yeah, that is an interesting take. And, you know, Adam didn't play that long ago. I mean, compared to us, he's still a young pup.
I don't know, buddy. It's been a while.
It's amazing, though, how much it has changed, and it's not going to go back to that way, Adam. Unfortunately, this is the way of the future. And like I said, if they are going to go a new direction, I just think the lack of NIL support right now is going to impact who they get for the. And maybe a lot of people are convinced it's DeVries, it's done, it's just a matter of time. Maybe that is the case. But I'll tell you what, Darian DeVries comes in here and has a $1.5 million NIL. He's going to struggle too.
Sure he is.
He's going to struggle to sign guys. I mean, it's just.
And look, you guys, look at Illinois' roster last night. They had, 2 points returning from the year before.
Yeah, it's just.
It's
And the
unbelievable.
other thing, too, that's interesting, you look at Hawkins in the year he had at K-State, he would have made this Illinois team really, really good, in my opinion. He's kind of another missing piece.
Yeah.
They're a great team already. Imagine if he's playing, but he goes to Kansas State, I think signs for, $2 million?
I thought it was 1.2, but it was
all right, so maybe 1.2. Either way, it was a big money.
Yes.
He made the decision to leave, had a horrible experience down there.
Death threats.
It just didn't work out.
Yeah, and it's weird to think that Kansas State could pay more than Illinois.
Yeah.
To me, that just doesn't add up. I mean,
Well, you look at Iowa State, though. I mean, it just takes a couple big donors that are really passionate about their particular sport, and hey, what do you need? Let us be your, let us fill that bucket up and go get who you want. You're going to have guys like that. Not saying we don't, but you're going to need some big money guys. And that's how this world's going to work. If you want to be successful, you're going to have some major players come in and help out.
Well, who's the richest Iowa alumni out there? Do we know? Who's the richest University of Iowa graduate? Do you know who that is? You used to always be able to say John Papajohn. Well, I don't know if he was an Iowa grad, but he was.
You mean a former athlete?
Well, no, just anyone with an Iowa connection. What they need is somebody to drop a bunch of money on them. A lot of these programs you'll read about, like how 2 millionaires. I just read something, I can't remember which program it was. 2 millionaires got together and they've done a $10 million annual NIL thing for their alma mater. Think if Iowa had that. But who's out there? Who are we missing, Adam?
I don't know. I mean, it feels like in Iowa, football's been well taken care of. Wrestling's got their kind of
They got their own thing. They got their own thing that's working. Yeah, well.
Yeah, and I think, we've got a great college here with medical, and you got the dental schools and all that. I mean, the wealth does get spread around. You've got a lot of support, that when people do give back, I would argue, do you really want to give back to a kid that could be here today, gone tomorrow, or do you give back to the university and, something you're passionate about that's going to be here in a building or something that's going to be long-standing for the next 40, 50 years?
Yeah, no, you're right. It's a decision. But some of these millionaires at some of these schools do want to give it to the NIL because they want to win and they want to win consistent and they want to do it now.
Yep.
And Iowa doesn't seem to have that. I mean, I'm trying to think of like prominent personalities from the. I mean, you got Ashton Kutcher, but what's he going to? Is he going to support the football and men's basketball program by himself? I mean, but I'm just trying to think of other names out there that have.
Also, I mean, look at all the NFL players that Kirk has put in to the NFL.
And I don't know
all the money that they have made, and according to Brad, none of those guys are giving anything to NIL. None of them.
Yeah, and that's their decisions. That does seem a little odd.
It does.
Maybe they're waiting until they're done playing. But do we know at other schools, like let's say the former NFL guys at Nebraska,
I don't know.
Are they given? I don't know. I don't know if Iowa's unique in that regard.
And the hard part is, as these guys grow up, and the finite time of making money as a professional athlete is small. It's a small window.
Yep.
In football, you're usually done earlier than you are in baseball or basketball for that matter. But then again, a lot of those big income streams, they stop.
Yeah.
And so some of those guys, hey, I got to live off this the rest of my life, support my family, educate my kids, whatever.
No, you're right.
I mean, I'm not even talking about giving $25 million. They don't. Nobody's giving $1,000.
Yeah.
It just seems odd to me.
Yeah, I
don't know.
That does seem a little odd.
Well, and again, I think the purity of some of the former guys, whether it's football or basketball, when we played in that era, it just you didn't have to worry about this animosity or the me world of I got to take care of myself. I mean, it was all team based.
Yeah.
Whether it was at Iowa State or Iowa, I mean, we were all in it together. Nobody was getting any money. Nobody was getting any extra handouts. I mean, it was a pure time of college sports, and I think it's probably hard for some of these guys to wrap their head around. Hey, I'm sitting next to you're paying a guy $200,000 and the guy next to him's getting 10.
Mm-hmm.
How do you do that? And how does this all work out? I don't know.
It's just like professional sports. I mean, it really is. I mean, you've got. I mean, look at the Lakers. You got LeBron and Luka making their money. Then you got guys making way smaller amounts. But that's
there's contracts involved too.
And that's why eventually. That's why I think Adam.
You got to uphold your end of the bargain, and there's terms on those contracts. There's everything else, and that's where the NCAA really messed up in this deal. It just became the Wild West, and you got to be able to have some parameters on this, especially with young. You're talking 17, 18-year-olds coming into college making big money. They're young kids still. They have never had really a job in their life, and they're getting big money thrown on their plate without any. I mean, they could be here today, gone tomorrow. You look at stuff that happened with, the kid from Southeast Polk that went to Alabama, came back, then went back. I mean, I think that's what's drawing some fans away on just how this NIL is working out.
Well, I think eventually they'll have contracts. I think we're heading down that path. 3 to 5 years, I think they'll be employees, they'll have contracts, and they won't even try to spin it as amateur sports because it's not amateur sports anymore. It's just, when you got a power forward making $1.2 million, it's not amateur sports. It's professional sports. And you're right. The NCAA did wash its hands of it. It's a wild, wild west right now. Fran apparently said in the postgame, I haven't heard the whole postgame, that they would need, in his eyes, $6 million annually at Iowa to operate properly. Well, I don't know where. I don't think that's coming with just a coaching change. I mean, am I naive on this? Do you think all of a sudden they get a new coach and all of a sudden their NIL is going to, go up fivefold? Yeah, I don't.
No,
do you
I
see
don't.
that, Adam?
I don't know what the right number is.
But 1.5 ain't the right number.
I do think Fran and those guys, you're going to have like a GM type position on these
Yes.
coaching staffs where, obviously you got recruiting and all that, and you got to play by the rules and contact, and now these guys have agents, but you're really going to have like at the NBA, NFL level, you've got to have these GMs that are having those
You're starting to see that.
conversations and let Fran and his staff do the coaching, do the game prep. They can decide who they want, and I don't know, maybe we've got a guy designated for that, but you're going to have a dedicated guy that's your money guy that is kind of your well that you go to when you need players or you need guys to stay. You're going to have somebody negotiating for them.
And you saw like Adrian Wojnarowski left ESPN. He's now the general manager for his alma mater, St. Bonaventure. And he does exactly what you're saying. I think that's the other way things are going to evolve in the future. You're going to see more general managers for teams. Hell, I think Fran would be a good general manager, but I think Fran loves the X's and O's more than anything. He's a coach. He loves coaching the game.
He's an old school guy.
He's an old school coach. He didn't get into it. He was old enough to where back in my era, guys weren't getting into it because they knew it was going to lead to instant millions. That evolved with television and what have you. So you're right, though, Adam. That's a good point. General manager, I think, is where this is headed. You have to with all these dollar figures.
So how do you find the perfect blend, Adam, between people like you who, it was the experience, my God, I would have given anything to play for Iowa. It was the experience, and then also the new age now where people are everybody's going to be making money. So where is the perfect blend for that, do you think?
It's a tough question, because at the root of it too, right? When you're going to college, part of my deal was getting the education piece.
Sure.
It was important to walk out of there with a 4-year degree that has Iowa listed on it. That was always important to me, still is to this day. But now I think it's just a money decision. It doesn't really matter. I don't care where I go. I don't care. I just need to, whatever classes I need to take. Some of these guys, you can tell Peyton, right? He's like a finance business major. Mm-hmm. He's solid on what he wants to do and things in the future. But I think everything's just here and now. It's such a knee-jerk reaction. I don't know if kids are growing up and they have that kind of sentiment of, education first, playing basketball, then what institution or where do you want to do that at? It's hard. I don't know what that athlete looks like anymore because at the younger ages, these guys are all being built up, to now go get paid in college.
Well, I mean, Peyton Sanford, I think, seems to be a good example of an old school warrior type of player.
Yeah, and I think too. I mean, we got J.R. Koch's son. I think he's going to be a really, really good player.
Yeah.
Jacob, he obviously had some health issues and stuff this year, and I'm going to redshirt him, and that way he don't burn a year. But somebody like that, you can tell there's a lineage there, and grew up being a Hawkeye fan and wanting to put on the Hawkeye jersey and play at the same school as Dad did. Not saying you're going to have every kid like that, but it's good to have a few of those on your roster to kind of be in kind of a happy medium.
And I don't ever see Iowa being a place where rosters just turn over every year with.
I mean, like Illinois did last year.
I just don't see that being the Iowa way. We always hear about the Iowa way. I just don't see that happening where every year it's just a complete roster upheaval. Maybe they'll bring a coach in that operates that way, but if it is Darian DeVries, I still think Darian DeVries, I would like to think he would still do some player development, get some guys out of high school. I still think that can work in this age. Do you, Adam?
No, I think yeah, absolutely. And you look at what Fran's done. Look at what he did with Aaron White. Look
Exactly.
at Luka Garza. Look at the Murray twins. I mean, he's got a system, and even a kid like Peyton that came in, and look where he's came to at this level, where he's dropped 30 out of this, the last game of the Big Ten tournament for him. Whether there's more games to be played or not, I mean, he's taken some kids, and really, not a lot of programs you can look at. Hey, look where you came in, and look where you left.
Mm-hmm.
Look at the type of player that you are. Fran's got a pedigree for that. His staff and everybody included gets credit for that. That would be my recruiting pitch. We've taken guys that were no name, 2 or 3 star recruits. Look where they ended up. You can do the same thing if you come here and play hard for 4 years.
Yep. No, they've got something to sell. I just think they just haven't won enough these last 2 games to keep this snowball from gaining momentum. You know what I mean? As far as the fans and what have you. So, like I said, we're going to learn a lot about Beth Getz here in the next couple days.
Few years.
Well, just in the next couple of days, how she handles this. Yeah. I mean, but I think it seems like most of the people I talk are convinced that it's over. And it's like, I think there's a lot of fans hoping that's the case. I think there's some in the media that are hoping that's the case. And like I said, I'm just not committed either way. I'm leaning towards thinking this is it, because in a way, I hope I'm wrong. Part of me wants Fran to come back again, because I think he deserves another year. But we'll see. Like I said, I'm just fascinated by what we're going to learn about Beth Getz over these next couple of days, because we are.
And I think if you're Fran, you got to be a little. I mean, it's got to be frustrating. He's a couple injuries, and you've had obviously a low NIL bucket comparative to other Big Ten teams, and it's really not completely equal, but he's done some really good things here, and some of this is just out of his control.
It is.
A lot of it.
Fran doesn't think he deserves to be fired. I mean, it's obvious. He's made that obvious. He feels his body of work still speaks for itself. I'm with him on that, but he also, and he hasn't been asked a lot about it, he's got to acknowledge the fan situation, because it's just there. You can't ignore it. So, I mean, I know it's going to be interesting.
Again, it's not all his fault.
It's not all his fault, but the buck has to stop somewhere.
It does.
If they end up making a change. Like I said, I don't think they should, but I don't know. I mean, I just think there's a lot of fans that are just done, and the only way they get them back is if they're 16-3 in the Big Ten, something like that, 15-5. That's a big if.
It's a big if.
That's a big if. I mean,
we're talking
winning is it.
1.2 on an NIL budget. That's a big if.
Yeah, that's a big if. There's nothing they can do right now besides win that's going to end this apathy. There's just not.
It's another part of the Caitlin Clark effect.
It is a part of the Caitlin Clark effect, but it also, and like I said, I'm a big supporter of Fran. They did make the NCAA last year. Not going to make it this year. That's back-to-back years.
Yeah.
That's not good in this era, and the deeper you get in your run. So that's what I'm saying. I think we think there's all these magical cures out there besides winning, but no, they just got to win. It's not right. They got to win more than they're doing. I think Fran would even acknowledge that. I mean, Adam, Rob Howe and I were talking about this yesterday. Your junior year, 05, didn't end well in you guys went 11-5. That place was rocking, and a critic will say, well, that was 19 years. But still, you guys were winning. The arena was full. You remember, you played before huge crowds at home.
We did. But again, that was 19 years ago. TV stuff has changed. Game times have changed. We had a boatload of weekend games, Big Ten especially. So, it just, it was a different era, and there was excitement there, and there was, I think, having a lot of Iowa presence. You look at Greg, myself, Jeff.
That definitely helped.
Porter, Mike Henderson. I mean, we were loaded. Alex Thompson that year.
All in-state guys.
Yeah, and then you had Tony Freeman right from St. Joe's in Chicago. Yeah, Cyrus Tate. I mean, there was a lot of guys, but it was Midwest, and you just had a lot of connection pieces there. And I think they resonated with it.
Yes.
But on the flip side, you look at Iowa State. I mean, they're packing Hilton. They've got it's a different era, right? But they've supported their team.
They're winning.
Well, and I think that's it.
They're winning. I mean, Iowa State's they had their 2-22 thing, but wasn't that during COVID? Wasn't that the year after COVID? And there was, but no, you're right though. And the thing is, you guys went 11-5 and 25-9. It's amazing to think you only played 16 conference games back then. Think about that, how different that is. But let's say that's the equivalent of Iowa this year going, what's 11-5 over 20? That'd be like 13-7, 20. If they went 13-7 this year in the Big Ten, it wouldn't have been packed every night, but attendance wouldn't be a major issue. Can we agree on that, or am I wrong?
I think I'd agree with you on that. Yeah.
But 13-7 is a big if. 14-6, I mean that's not an easy thing to do. And there, as much as we like this team this year, and even before Owen Freeman was hurt, they were struggling. They were not a 14-13 team winning the conference. To me, that's it. And I think a lot of the fans who want Fran gone don't believe that Fran can lift them back up to where they need to be because of NIL and what have you. And they think that a change is the best way to go. But I don't know what the answer is here.
That's why Beth gets paid all the big bucks.
You bet.
He's got to make some of those decisions.
So, Adam, I'll put you on the spot. Are you convinced if it's Darian DeVries, are you convinced he's going to come in and just light this place on fire and make them into a Big Ten contender year in and year out?
I don't know. I mean, he's a great guy, great coach. Obviously has roots to this state, would understand recruiting, and could offer a lot. His name obviously stands out. Your alma mater, with McCollum over there, he's done some incredible things over there in just year one.
Yes, he has.
So, but again, it's one of those. What cards are you being dealt? How much do you have to go out and go get players, and the caliber of players that are going to compete and go, win 15 games in the Big Ten?
Yeah.
I mean, you've got to. That's the other piece to it. You could be as good a coach out there as anybody, but at the end of the day, you need studs to go along with it.
I'll put you on the spot before we wrap up. God, I can't believe we've been on for almost 4.
I know.
If Iowa called and said, hey, you want to be our basketball general manager, are you leaving your financial planning world and doing that job?
No.
You would not do that?
At all. No.
Really? Interesting.
Okay, and speaking of that, how are the stocks doing today?
Let's see. It was up this morning pretty good. Let's see. Right now, NASDAQ's up almost 300 points.
Okay, so I'm just curious, what's these last couple of days been like for somebody who makes their living in the stock market like you? Has it been pretty stressful?
Or
is that the challenge that you relish?
It's tax season right now, so that's kind of a busy time, getting everything in order, helping clients out. The other thing is, just market volatility. I mean, people want to know, just like the markets, what's the next couple of weeks going to look like? What's the next year going to look like? There's a lot of stuff with the new administration that's just up in the air, so it's hard. Everybody's trying to figure it out.
But isn't that part of the intrigue for why you get into that type of work, the challenge of trying to, navigate through stuff like this?
Yeah, and I think, too, being a relationship guy, I love, clients that I work with. And being here in Iowa City and helping people through, getting into retirement, building towards retirement. It's a rewarding business, but these are the times when, we can definitely serve and help and ease some of the concerns that are out there.
All right. Well, Adam, great stuff. Let's try to do this at least one more time. Remember, we got the women. They're going to find out where they're going Sunday, and they'll be playing next week. So, Adam, I'll stay in touch. We'll try to maybe do this at least maybe one time next week. We'll fit it into your schedule, whatever works.
That sounds great, guys.
Okay.
Yep. Enjoy the weekend. Stay safe today.
You too, Adam. Thanks.
Thank you, Adam.
Yeah. Bye.
What interesting thing. Okay, possibly 3 openings in the Big Ten, coaching-wise. Possibly.
Fran, Minnesota, and who's the other one?
Indiana.
Oh, that's right.
So some of the top names being floated out there are, DeVries, Iowa, Ben McCollum, Indiana.
And Chris Beard and Chris.
And how about and Nico Medved in
I've heard him.
Minnesota? What is the common denominator of those 3 coaches?
They all coached at Drake.
They all coached at Drake.
My alma mater, the launching pad.
Isn't that just
the launching pad for greatness, Drake University. I mean, look at me. I'm sitting here. I'm on the,
amongst greatness.
Amongst greatness. Here I am sitting here at KCJJ in sweatpants. We're both in sweatpants.
Yeah.
Gray sweatpants.
Yeah.
Yep.
Whereas I am decked out in blue jeans, so I am a clothes horse.
And shockingly, he's wearing a Hawkeye T-shirt.
Yeah.
A Hawkeye-related T-shirt.
I wore a Drake shirt yesterday.
Yeah, okay. There you go. Is that a little frappe? Can you have Hunter?
Yeah.
Hunter dropped you off a frappe?
No, Tommy Lang.
Oh, Tommy Lang did.
Tommy
okay.
Lang.
All right.
Yeah.
Is it good?
Yes.
And I bet Tommy made other people wait in line while they made your wuss coffee drink.
Jesus.
Seriously.
No, it doesn't take that long.
All right. Let's take a break, and then we'll regroup, and we'll come back, and we'll really tackle the issues these last I mean, we'll talk about. I'm in my Twitter feed since I posted that picture of those girls kneeling is just the underbelly of American society. My God, the best though is I had this one guy just calling these girls, the softball players, every name in the book, just all these. And then I look at his Twitter: live my life through Christ, follower of Jesus, father of four. I mean, just.
Fan of Murph and Andy.
Well, no, I didn't say anything about No, I just get a kick out of these people that say the nastiest stuff, and then you look at their profile, and they're servants of God. They live their life through Jesus and whatever. But Twitter allows you can be whatever you want on Twitter, apparently.
We had to get rid of our chat room on our app.
Why?
They're using other people's names and
No, that's not good.
And relatives of mine.
And you notice Caker got rid of the guy using my name on.
Yeah.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he banned him.
Well, we just got rid of the chat room altogether.
And I will say the guy's posts weren't that nasty, but he did. Like I saw one. It was me calling Josh Dix a wuss and a sissy.
He was a dick. This guy was a dick.
And Tom agreed. And Tom was going to say he was going to tell his people on the board, don't post under people's names. Just if you want to be a anonymous troll and talk snark and bring it, and own it. Yeah, just don't leave people's names out of it.
Well, yeah, our chat room ended up our version of Twitter.
But the reaction to this national anthem stuff has just been nonstop, and it's just, I mean,
how long has it been now?
Well, people have asked me.
Have been doing that.
People ask me, why did you take that photo? Why are you?
Hasn't it been 7 or 8 years?
It's news. When an assistant coach leaves and quits a university or gets fired, whatever you want to call it, that's news. And we were there to report the news. And, but man, it's amazing, though, how I knew this was going to be such a divisive issue. And I didn't write a column. I didn't condone or rip or anything. I just reported the news. And the one girl that we talked to, Susan Berry, said she does it for personal reasons. She didn't share what those were. I didn't feel it was my need to keep, asking her if she wanted us to know why she was kneeling, she'd tell us.
Sure.
She did say she did it for personal reasons. It's 4 of the girls. The majority of the girls on the team don't kneel, but they've somehow figured out a way to make it work. And I know the DI did another story quoting that. Did you see their second story? Their story from it was another but it was just another bunch of quotes from the Brian Levin guy. Just, I'm ready to move on from him. He said something about how he posted up names of 10 soldiers that were killed in action, and he put it in the locker room to try to.
If they don't get that they serve the country so that people can demonstrate.
They don't.
Well, that's on them.
I'm with you on this one. I'm with you on this one. I think I've been asked a lot recently what my views are. I proudly stand for the national anthem. Always have and always will. But I'm not going to tell anyone else what they should do. That's just me. And then you're weak. You're not a patriot. You're a traitor. That whatever. I mean,
if people want to sit down for the national anthem, I don't care.
Listen,
I choose to stand.
Yeah, I've chose to stand, and I can't see anything because people are standing in front of me, and they're talking to their neighbors, and getting popcorn and walking. That kneeling,
whatever,
is the least of the problems.
I agree.
And another thing about the national anthem, and then we'll go to a break. It pisses me off that it's sponsored on those boards.
On what boards?
On the Kinnick boards.
Oh.
National anthem brought to
See,
you
what
by.
I think Kinnick should start doing for the national anthem, and I know you'll agree because you love it, I think they should just start, instead of just play Hendrix's version before every sporting event. Would you like that? Because I think even some people who stand would start to sit. Would you like to hear the Jimi Hendrix version of the before every Hawkeye sporting event?
I don't even know why it's necessary to do the
I'm starting to think that too, but you can see Kirk down there.
I mean, if it's becoming a flashpoint for people, then just don't do it.
But could you like to see Kirk air guitaring if Kirk's like there on the 50-yard line doing his air guitar?
They didn't used to do it, right?
No.
I'm with you on that, Tom. I don't think it's necessary. And if that means I'm anti-American and I should be sent to Gitmo,
but you're not anti-American.
Send him to Gitmo. Call Tom Homan. I saw a bunch of tweets like people would take the picture I tweeted and they would embed it and then say, "Are you paying attention?" And they'd have Tom Homan, the guy. They'd have his Twitter like they deport him. And the mother of one of the players got on there and said, "Well, we're from here. My daughter's lived here all her life." And then she made the mistake of answering back to these people, and she was just they were just ganging up on her. It's really unfortunate. I mean, it really is.
I just decided social media is just crap, and I got rid of everything. I did. I got rid of everything. I got Twitter to post on our, but I don't have a personal account. And I got everything but Facebook.
There was also an engagement, a thread where they're ripping me. This guy's hardly got any engagement on this platform. How can he? Look, he only follows 50. They're criticizing me because I don't want to acknowledge people like that. And I mean, I only do follow like 50-some people. I'm only on Twitter for work reasons. I barely tweet. I don't care how much engagement I have.
No, and I'm not on there anymore at all.
But that's where these people on Twitter, they think they matter so much now because they've been told they matter.
Pat Harty, with a D, was in our chat room yesterday.
Yeah, gee,
hoping that I broke my other knee, so I'd be gone another month.
Yeah, and that's just somebody who, I mean, what were they hoping to accomplish other than just to be a dick?
I don't know. I just sat down with Jim and Tommy and said, do we really need this?
So you got rid of your chat room?
Yeah.
Oh, you shut it down?
Yeah.
For good?
Good.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, I mean, that's your decision. It's your station.
Yeah.
And, yeah, the stuff does get old. But to think that I was getting made fun of because I don't have engagement on Twitter, that's like, how can this guy report on the Hawks when he's so disengaged from this platform? I mean, seriously?
Come on.
I mean,
yeah.
Because he's comparing me to some of the people in the media that live on Twitter, which is fine. If that's their
what
thing,
they want to do.
Great, more power to them. But that's just not me.
Let's take our break. Okay. We'll be right back.
1-800-800-ROSE.
1-800-800-ROSE. Your FTD florist is the only number you need to know to send flowers anywhere in the country or Canada from anywhere in the country.
1-800-800-ROSE.
It's so easy. Just remember one number. 1-800-800-ROSE. Your FTD florist.
1-800-800-ROSE.
Remember,
don't wait for an emergency to get a backup for your car keys. Unlike the olden days, car keys have gotten extremely complex. Mike's eKeys for Cars can generate the most technically advanced automotive keys that are on the market today. For spares and lost keys, Mike's eKeys for Cars can produce most conventional transponder, high security, and remote head keys. Mike's eKeys for Cars will keep you on the road. Call 319-330-9185 and schedule an appointment today. Don't wait until it's too late. Call 319-330-9185 today.
For a gift that your loved one will treasure for a lifetime, find it at our family-owned jewelry store in Iowa City, Harty and Stocker Jewelers.
We can show you diamond engagement rings, colored stones, fashion jewelry, and watches.
Our jewelers are on site so we can design jewelry for that special person in your life.
We are Harty and Stocker, serving Iowa City and the surrounding area for 3 generations.
Harty and Stocker Jewelers, downtown Iowa City, and HartyandStockerJewelers.com. Ask for Willa, Terry, Tim, or Kate. One of us is always there.
You take great care to maintain your home or business inside and out, but maybe, just maybe, there's something missing. Something that makes your home stand out among the others in your neighborhood. Something that makes your business pop and increases traffic. Something that you can change and customize at your command. Well, there's a solution, and that's Illuminlight's permanent outdoor lighting from Big Dog Tech. Illuminlights provides illumination for every occasion. Holiday lighting, accent lights, security, and of course lighting for all your favorite sports. The Illuminlights app lets you create your own patterns with color, motion, brightness, and static control over every individual light, or use Big Dog's presets to transform your home or business. The professionally installed track system makes Illuminlight's LEDs virtually disappear until you turn them on. Rated at 50,000 hours, you'll enjoy stress-free convenience for years to come. For more information about Illuminlight's permanent outdoor lighting, go to BigDogTEK.net or give them a call at 319-395-0800. That's 319-395-0800.
It's Truck Month, and Deary Ford is here for you.
With a huge selection of Mavericks, Rangers, F-150s, and Super Duties.
Here for you! With many years of experience, serving Iowa City, Cedar Rapids, and the corridor.
Here for you with complimentary pickup and delivery and mobile service.
If you are looking for a quick, enjoyable purchase experience with our best price up front, visit us today and see how Deary Ford is here for you. It's Truck Month at Deary Ford in Iowa City or online at DearyFord.com.
GT Carr, owner of Supple's Building and Remodeling, has been offering unmatched service and quality for over 25 years. The trained professionals at Supple's Building and Remodeling will install and guarantee the products used in any job, no matter how big or small. They also stand behind their work and offer no-nonsense, exceptional customer service from design to completion and beyond. Whether it's a simple window replacement or a major house addition, you'll have the confidence that Supple's Building and Remodeling is committed to quality. Visit suples.net or call them today at 319-337-2246. When you go to a family restaurant, you want three things. One, a wide selection of breakfast, lunch, and dinner items. Two, you want those selections to be affordable and delicious. And three, you want to be treated like family. You get all three at the Midtown Family Restaurant. Breakfast items available anytime the doors are open. Legendary tenderloins, onion rings, and hot roast beef sandwiches, and special ribeye and shrimp nights. Daily specials at each location, and no matter if you're coming in solo or with a group of 20, you get the same special family treatment. The Midtown Family Restaurants at Court and Scott Streets and at the Walmart Plaza on Highway 1 West. Follow them on Facebook or at MidtownFamily.com. The family's waiting for you.
Diamond Dream Sports Academy, 20,000 square foot indoor facility, holds 8 batting cages, space for infield work, space for throwing and pitching and all your arm care needs. Offers private instruction, group lessons, camps and clinics, leagues, memberships. Rentals available at Diamond Dreams is open to the public.
Our top level instructors include former professional, college, and Olympic athletes. Our coaches will help these athletes achieve their full athletic potential, develop a strong work ethic, and a solid base to build. The last thing you want to do is look back and wish you had worked or played harder.
Locally owned and established in 2005, Diamond Dreams is Eastern Iowa's premier training facility. Located at 2905 Stoner Court, North Liberty. Call today and reserve your time. 319-665-2173. 319-665-2173.
This is Leah Pasha, and I've been saying, hit a deer, call Premier for years. But it's time for something new. It's still where you need to go for deer divots and door dings, as well as damaged dashboards. That's what my dad Nathan's driving at and dreams about. Why not say, when your car is dinged, be a deer and call Premier? I think Dad's going to love that. Premier Automotive, North Liberty's premier auto body repair shop.
Be a deer and call Premier Auto Body in North Liberty.
Don't let just anyone take care of your smile. At Diamond Dental, you can expect compassion, expertise, and a personalized care plan to protect your teeth for life. With more than 30 years of combined experience, Dr. Forbes and his staff are prepared to tackle even your toughest dental problems, leaving your smile healthy and sparkling. Diamond Dental offers a full range of general and cosmetic dentistry, as well as dental treatment options for snoring and sleep apnea. It's never too early to start thinking about what's best for your smile. Schedule an appointment today by calling 319-390-3703 or visiting the office at 5815 Consul Street Northeast, Suite D1 in Cedar Rapids. You can also visit DiamondDentalPC.com for more information. Dr. Forbes is a proud sponsor of the Hawkeye Wrestling Club and the Inner Circle. Let the Diamond Dental team provide superior care for your entire family.
Dear U of I, just a note to let you know, if you're ever thinking about selling Kinnick Stadium or Carver Hawkeye Arena, please consider Hawkeye Title and Settlement. We're here to provide efficient, high-quality real estate title and closing services. Signed, Hawkeye Fan Forever, and send. Hi, this is Steve Anderson with Hawkeye Title and Settlement. Whether it's a large commercial property or if you're buying your first home, remember, we're here to help. Hawkeye Title and Settlement Services of Iowa City. You'll love our team just like you love the Hawks.
Are you tired of living in a home that doesn't quite meet your needs? Then it's time to call the experts at Streets Maintenance. Their team of skilled professionals specializes in renovations and remodeling, transforming your home into the space you've always dreamed of. From kitchen and bath remodels to complete home renovations, no job is too big or too small. Streets Maintenance will work with you every step of the way to ensure your vision becomes a reality. So don't wait any longer. Call Streets Maintenance to schedule your consultation at 400-4483. Let's start building your dream home today.
You take great care to maintain your home or business inside and out. But maybe, just maybe, there's something missing. Something that makes your home stand out among the others in your neighborhood. Something that makes your business pop and increases traffic. Something that you can change and customize at your command. Well, there's a solution, and that's Illuminlight's permanent outdoor lighting from Big Dog Tech. Illuminlights provides illumination for every occasion. Holiday lighting, accent lights, security, and of course lighting for all your favorite sports. The Illuminlights app lets you create your own patterns with color, motion, brightness, and static control over every individual light, or use Big Dog's presets to transform your home or business. The professionally installed track system makes Illuminlights LEDs virtually disappear until you turn them on. Rated at 50,000 hours, you'll enjoy stress-free convenience for years to come. For more information about Illuminlight's permanent outdoor lighting, go to BigDogTEK.net or give them a call at 319-395-0800. That's 319-395-0800.
Hi, this is Bill Leixenring from the Oxyoke Inn. The Oxyoke Inn is now serving daily. Our Oxyoke family is ready to serve you with the same quality of food and service you've come to trust since 1940. Now serving lunch, dinner, banquets, and carry-out daily with 4 portion sizes. Sundays featuring our famous brunch buffet. You can also order curbside carry-out and pies to go online and take the comforting taste of the Oxyoke home to your family's table. Visit oxyokeinn.com for hours, menus, reservations, carry-out, specials, and gift cards. From our Oxyoke family to yours, we can't wait to see you again soon. Oxyoke Inn, in the heart of Amana.
From the Harty and Stalker Studios, in the heart of the Hawkeye Nation, this is the mighty 1630 KCJJ, Iowa City.
Harty and Stalker Jewelers, making memories, making moments.
Meteorologist Brittany Merlot. Warm and windy today, with gusts approaching 50 miles per hour, prompting a wind advisory and a red flag warning. That'll spike our high temperatures to about 80 degrees today. Then showers and storms slam into us this evening. Some of those could be strong to severe, with high winds, hail, and tornadoes possible. After that, occasional light rain lingers through tomorrow morning, and temperatures crash. That's the forecast on the mighty 1630 KCJJ. Currently, it's 64.
KCJJ weather. Brought to you by Plum Supply.
Plum Supply kitchens and baths. Your home never looks so beautiful.
We are here. We are back. And we will be here for the weather tonight.
The weather event.
Yes. Whatever happens tonight, we are here. Well, I'm not here.
You won't be here. It'll be Tommy and Molly underneath the desk and praying.
Yeah. I'll be praying.
You'll be praying from home.
Yeah.
I got to decide what seafood I'm eating today. I'm thinking of Culver's cod sandwich. Maybe Suter said Arby's. They got
crispy fish sandwich.
I mean, the McDonald's.
Crispy fish is good. The Culver's is probably.
The cod one's good. The walleye's not.
Yeah, no, the
cod one's good.
The walleye's a sickening.
In the McDonald's fish sandwich, all it does is make me hungry. You know, I eat
Midtown's got the best fish sandwich.
Do they really?
Does, yes. Bar none. I'm serious. It's the best.
Is it crispy?
Yeah.
Okay,
it's
so I want it to be crispy.
But the fish is really good.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really
like
good.
I said, I'm gonna try to
yes,
follow.
Suter. The fish is really good.
I'm gonna try to follow my religious ways during Lent, but it's not easy.
Yeah. More power to you, I guess.
Probably get a bowl of what do they call it? Broccoli cheddar soup from Panera. Could do that, and then do Arby's tonight, and I'll have it all covered.
Jan's been eating squash from Panera. Squash.
That thing looks like infection. You seen it?
Yeah, she's been eating it.
But it looks like an infection. But if she likes it, hey.
Yeah,
she likes it.
Okay. Back to the Hawks.
Yeah.
Back to the Hawks.
I don't even know what to say.
Well, let's see, the women, we find out Sunday where they go.
Yep.
And then that'll be interesting. And it's not. There's no possibilities of anything close by.
Yes, sir. You're invited to come to the social filler room Sunday. The program begins at 7 p.m. They're inviting the media to be at the selection show on Sunday. After the conclusion of the show, A couple players will be available and coach to do some scrum interviews in the lobby for 5 to 10 scrum interviews. You ever done a scrum interview?
I've never done a scrum interview.
Have you ever been called a scrum or scum? I've been called scum before.
What is a scrum interview?
Just kind of just impromptu, just right there in the hallway, get them there, surround them. Not something. That's the best way I can describe it.
Informal.
Very informal. Yeah, just get them right there in the hallway, not at a desk, and not anything scheduled, any specific time or whatever.
Okay.
You ever been called scum?
No.
You've never been called scum?
Pond scum?
I've been called scum before.
You've been called pond scum?
Pond scum, white scum.
I've never been called scum. I've been called worse.
You think there's a band called Scum?
Yeah.
I could see. Don't you?
For
sure there is.
I don't think you even need to look it up.
No, there's a band. I'm thinking it's from either Sweden or Ohio. But
I'm going Seattle area.
Okay.
So did you watch the game yesterday from start to finish?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a fun game to watch.
Yeah.
If you don't like defense, it was a great game to watch. And Brad Underwood said some really neat things about Peyton Sanders.
I like that.
He said, he goes, I like it when a guy cries because that shows how much it cares. I mean, when Peyton was leaving that game, it was just killing him that he knew his career was almost over. If that was his last game.
It was his last Big Ten game.
Last Big Ten game, yeah. And he went down fighting, man. 30 points.
Scum is a hardcore punk black metal supergroup formed in 2002 with members from they're Norwegian except for the vocalist Hazy Chaos.
Where's he from?
America.
I said Sweden, but I thought about Denmark. I thought about that. It seems like a lot of them come from that area.
It does.
Scum. All right.
Yeah.
We got our answer.
Their biggest hit in 2021 was Speaking in Tongues.
Good Talking Heads album.
Scum did not release a follow-up second album.
There was no continued Scum.
In December of last year, Casey Chaos died.
Didn't he used to rank the top 40 songs?
Yes, Casey Chaos.
I used to see it on TV. They used to. Who am I getting it mixed up with?
Casey Kasem.
Oh, that's right. All right. All right.
I remember the name of the punk band in that WKRP episode was Scum of the Earth.
Oh, that's right.
They trash the hotel room and throw the guy out the window.
That's right.
Great episode.
Scum of the Earth. That's right.
Yeah.
Okay, Tom, as a former band guy, why did bands enjoy destroying their hotel rooms?
I don't know.
Wasn't the Who notorious for that?
Yeah,
then I know Zeppelin's
the first band that did it.
The
in Chicago.
Lundstroms?
Yes. No, it was the Byrds.
Okay, you're right. I think we've discussed this.
Yeah.
Okay, why? What do you hope to accomplish?
I don't know. What really
message are you sending?
The weirdest thing was the hotel in Coralville. The room was trashed. The first one was by Art Garfunkel.
Okay. What's Art?
Why would Art Garfunkel?
I don't know.
Did he do it silently? Did he make a little noise when he did it?
Hello.
Casey Kasem still does the countdown on Sirius Radio.
Oh, I thought he was dead.
Well, he's dead, but they still.
Yeah, but I'm sure he's still getting a Social Security check since he's working. That's probably where one of them is.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, whatever.
Doge will take care of it. They'll figure it out. Doge.
Yeah, Casey K. He was 59.
He died at the age of 59?
Yeah.
Casey K.
Heart attack.
Wow. How long ago?
He just last December.
Not Casey Kasem, okay?
Oh, are you talking about Chaos, the guy, or who are we talking? Which
Casey Chaos.
Oh, okay. I've moved on from him. I've moved on from Scum and Casey Chaos.
Well, tell me when you flip pages.
I'm sorry, I got him confused with Casey Kasem. Well, Casey Kasem, when did he die?
A few years ago. It was sad too because his wife kept him away from his daughters, and they fought over burying him.
Yeah, that sucks.
It's a mess.
Yeah, no, that sounds like a mess. I hate hearing stories like that. But
yeah.
Hello.
Hey Pat, question for you.
Okay.
Hey, do you think? I mean, what kind of a time frame would you say that we've got here with an announcement from Beth? Do you think do we dare wait a week with the other schools that are looking for coaches? I mean, if she does move on from Fran?
I'd be surprised if it goes a week or longer if they're moving on. And even if they're not moving on, they're going to have to announce something. And they just can't leave it at status quo.
No.
And I think Fran would even acknowledge that. And I think if they are going to keep Fran, I think they would announce that he's staying, but there may be going to be some structural change. I don't know. But like I said, I think if he's moving on, the sooner the better. I mean, Minnesota did it just 8 hours after they lost, and so yeah, I would be.
Plane had barely.
I would be very surprised if this drags on for a week.
Yeah, I mean, because I've heard where, I mean, I don't know if it's going to be DeVries or not. He's got a pretty substantial buyout.
It's about $4.5–5 million right now.
$5 million.
So you combine it with Fran, that's almost $10 million in buyout that they would have to pay before they pay the new coach.
Yeah. And I think regardless of who we get, they're going to have to do something with NIL money. I mean...
Well, who's they?
I mean, you say they, who do you mean,
yes.
though? Because Iowa can't do that. I mean,
no.
they can, they can indirectly help, but they're not responsible for it. It's not their thing. Who's they?
Maybe she's been talking to some donors.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure she does that a lot. So when you say they, you're talking about some donors are going to have to step up and help this program. Is that what you're... And I agree with you. I think that's inevitably what is ultimately going to have to happen, but that doesn't mean it will to the degree that it has to happen.
Well, I think from the people I've talked to, that people think if we do move on from Fran, that they're going to start stepping up. Whether that happens or not, I don't know.
I mean, it could. It's easy for other people to say that other people are going to start spending money when there's a coaching change. I'm sure there will be a boost in attendance and in NIL, both just from the freshness of it and the excitement of a change. But I don't think all of a sudden Iowa is going to be having $5 million NIL men's basketball payroll next year. I don't see that happening.
No,
I don't either. But with McCollum, I hear he's a top candidate at Indiana now.
I mean, that's out there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's out there. Unfortunately, like every coaching search, the people that really know the answers are the only ones not talking. I mean, but yeah, I'm sure. I just don't know if Indiana fans would embrace a guy who's been at the Division I level for just 1 year, because Indiana fans have a real high opinion of their program. I think Ben McCollum's a great coach. His style's a little boring, but if you win, you can overlook the boring part of it. So we shall see. McCollum's also been mentioned. I mean, McCollum and Darian DeVries are the two that are always mentioned for the Iowa job right now. Those two, and for obvious reasons.
Right. And I don't think either one are bad coaches at all.
I don't either. No, I don't either. But I don't know if either one are the right.
But they're not Coach K either.
But no, and I don't know. I mean, a lot of people are just assuming DeVries is the right fit because he's from Iowa and his brother played football at Iowa. Well, I mean, that doesn't always guarantee that you're going to fit. You just don't. You just don't know. And so, like I said, it will be interesting to see how Beth handles this. But if they are making a change, I would think we were going to hear something within the next 1 to 3 days. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if we heard something today.
Really?
If they're going to move on, if they're moving on.
I mean, do you think she's going to meet with Fran, say today or Monday?
If I had to guess, I'd probably say at some point they're going to meet. Maybe, yeah. I mean, but I don't know for sure. I mean, I can't guarantee that.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens. Beth Guess has got. I think she knows that there's a lot of pressure on her right now.
Yeah, I mean, this is a big decision. This is one of the biggest decisions outside of hiring Kirk's replacement that she'll make as the Iowa AD.
Yeah. All right, guys. It'll be interesting to see what happens.
Yes, it will.
I probably think he's probably done here.
Well, I think a lot of people feel the same way you do. But like I said, until it happens, you just don't know for certain.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
I mean, it's obviously you can make an argument either way.
Oh, you could.
Without any question.
No, you definitely could. You definitely could. I mean, I can sit here and talk about body of work and everything, but then I don't have an answer for why there's 5,000 people on average in their 15,000 arena. That ain't good.
Hello.
Hey, morning, guys. So, Pat, your opinion on this, or even Mr. Suter, how much of the NIL deal do you think would improve if Fran left? I mean, do you think there'll be an improvement?
I would think there would be some.
The NIL all on Fran?
I think there would be some improvement just from having a new coach. There's always a boost in energy and what have you. I think there'll be some.
And a boost in interest.
And I think more fans will show up. But I don't think NIL is all of a sudden going to quadruple or whatever
No.
and get up to where Michigan State and Maryland and UCLA and all these teams are. No, I don't think that'll happen.
Yeah, you were asking about Coach last night. Coach did say $6 million, but afterwards, I was listening to Bobby Hansen, and Bobby was like, to be realistic, it's a little more like $10 million. To be competitive in the Big Ten, he was thinking, you've got to get into double digits in the
I don't know
NIL,
about
which
that.
makes sense.
Yeah, but I don't know about that. I don't know if there's any other Big Ten team that's got $10 million a year, and well, the most I've heard was like 6 or 8 from some. But yeah, $10 million. Yeah, that'd be great. I mean, but I think you also got to be realistic. I don't know how you're going to go from 1.5 to 10 with the hiring of a new coach. I just don't see how that comes to be unless all of a sudden there's a couple millionaires. Okay, all right, I'm ready to do it.
Did we ever see a boost in the women's game when it came to the NIL after Caitlin?
I don't.
I have seen it said that Iowa's women's NIL is solid.
Yeah, but you don't know the figure.
I don't know the figure.
Yeah, I mean,
That's what I was curious
And
about,
Caitlin
what
never
the
took
figure
NIL.
would be.
Caitlin never took NIL money from Iowa. She didn't have to, so that freed up a lot of NIL money for other players. And Caitlin,
No, but if we're talking about support of a team that, been winning and, has a lot of popularity going for it right now, this may be an unpopular opinion. And if you would have asked me back in early January, I would have said I want to see Coach gone. But now I know this is unpopular, but I really hope he stays. I just want to see what he can do with this incoming class next year and, the sophomores that are going to be there next year. I mean, I would be really
they're
excited
there.
about that.
I mean, you can't assume everyone's going to be there. I mean, there could be some. Even if he stays, there's going to
can't assume anymore.
There's going to probably be some roster fluctuation, even if he stays.
Well, I hope not. But, I mean, I like Coach. I think he's done a marvelous job. Yeah, if you're counting on the Sweet 16 appearances, I don't put a lot into that. I mean, it's, you look at Minnesota, they got a coach that hasn't made the NCAAs. I mean, it was the reason he got terminated. At least we're there. We'll be playing postseason ball this year. We'll get one more shot to watch Peyton play. I mean, I'm really excited about watching him and Dix one more time this season.
Well, we'll see.
Assuming it happens. I mean,
Yeah,
like
we
I
don't
said,
know.
there's a lot of different scenarios that could play out.
Well, everything I've read says that the NIT is still in play, but it sounds more like Crown because everything I've read says Iowa is going to be one of the members from the Big Ten in the Crown series. So, like you said, if we don't have 7 guys to play, that becomes a moot question.
I mean, the Crown is it's 2.5 weeks. It doesn't even start for over 2 weeks.
2 days after my birthday.
Yeah, so like I said,
Happy birthday.
the roster's
I'm sorry.
the roster's going to be interesting in 2.5 weeks.
Can I ask you guys one more question? You probably have said it, but I haven't heard. Maybe I just haven't heard a direct response. Are you of the opinion? What's your opinion about Coach staying? I mean, are you guys in favor of it? Are you willing to come out and say what you actually feel about it?
Well, I've said it. I've said it multiple times. I think his body of work gives him at least one more year, but I recognize that the lack of fan support is a glaring issue that has to be dealt with.
And I personally hope that Fran stays.
I do too. I hope they give him one more year. Try to improve the NIL and help him keep everybody here. But like I said, that's a lot of ifs. There's just so much uncertainty right now. But I think his body of work still deserves one more year. But the attendance is something that just you can't overlook.
Yeah. All right. Well, listen, thanks for taking my call like always. I love listening to you guys. Like I tell you all the time, you keep me company as I cross this great country of ours. So
all right.
Thanks very much for that.
All right, thank you.
Hey, where are you?
Today I'm in Minneapolis.
No.
Say hi to
I'm
Mace.
heading back to Iowa now so I can come watch the Storms this evening and
Look at the
listen
wind.
to Tommy and them tell us what's going on.
Look at the bushes, Captain. Look at the wind picking up.
Molly and Tommy will be on top of it.
Yep.
Yeah, I know. You guys are the only local place I trust.
Yep.
So, well, I mean, you're actually one of the only local places that does weather coverage like that.
Exactly.
So.
Well, I've heard over at KXIC the computer's actually underneath the desk right now. It's so worried about the weather.
Hidden behind the closet, hiding underneath the desk,
Yep.
and it's shivering because it's all alone. All right, guys, take care. Go Hawks.
Thanks. Go Hawks.
The wind is picking up.
Yeah.
The wind is picking up, Captain.
Yes.
Look at that smile on your face. Landfills closing. Things are turning out just the way they're already closed. This is a red letter day for you.
Jesus. What the? Hello.
Good morning. Hey, good show today.
Thanks.
I just had an idea, talking a lot about NIL again today, and it really looks like it's here to stay. And clearly, we need to raise not just thousands and thousands of dollars, but millions. It seems to me that the proper place for that would now be the U of I Foundation. They're a separate entity, and they get all the really wealthy people approaching them saying, hey, we want to donate. Where does the university need it the most? And they could funnel some money into that and build it a lot faster, in my opinion. What do you guys think?
Well, they'd have to have the permission from those people to do that. We've had Brad Heinrich on. Well, maybe we should try to get Brad on, if we can try to get him on our next show.
But I don't. You mean the you think the foundation could raise NIL money if they wanted to?
That's really not their role.
I don't think
is it?
they can.
I don't think they can.
I don't think they can either because they're directly affiliated with the university.
Yes, exactly.
You can't have any affiliation. Brad Heinrich, even though he graduated from Iowa, he has no affiliation with the university right now. They're a separate entity. That's how you have to raise.
Well,
Go ahead.
It seems like they're kind of a fine line over there. I mean, they are affiliated with the name and everything, but the other hand, they stand alone. I don't even think they're employees or university employees. That's how they stand alone.
They've got a specific purpose for what they do, and I don't think they can do that.
Yeah,
that's not.
But no, I'll ask around and have an answer for that. I mean, because I think if they could, they would have done that already. Don't you? I think they would have tried to tap that resource, what have you.
I bet it's been discussed at least.
Yeah, I just think they're too affiliated with the university. But who knows? I mean, like I said, it's going to be interesting. The $10 million though, Tom, do you think they'll have a $10 million?
That seems like a lot.
That seems. I don't. My expectation is not for Iowa to have the biggest NIL in the Big Ten.
No,
you got to be realistic about what it is, but we'll see.
Unless I win a $1 billion lottery, and then I will promise a $10 million a year to NIL.
What if you won? Okay, let's say you won $180 million in the lot. You couldn't give 10 of that to your beloved university.
I would absolutely make a nice donation.
And you'd have the Tom and Ann Suter Pavilion. They'd have wouldn't that be cool?
Sounds great.
There you go.
I would love that.
Because then that would leave you $160 million for yourself after you give your donation to the university. Yep, there you go. Now there's one minor obstacle. You got to win.
Well, the second bigger obstacle. You
got to play. Yeah, I don't. Every once in a while, I buy a lottery ticket. I've probably done it maybe 4 or 5 times in my life.
I do it more
I haven't
often
won
than
either.
that, but I don't ever get even one number.
Well,
ever.
I just gave up because I bought it 4 times in a row and I didn't win anything, and I was done. That's ridiculous.
Here it says that it's a 501(c)(3) charitable organization. Yes, charitable organization supports the university through fundraising, engagement with alumni and friends, and managing private contributions for various university
Now, I
priorities.
could see the alumni helping Brad Heinrich get names and what have you indirectly and stuff, but I just don't think that they can have a direct connection to raising NIL money from the way it's set up. Maybe I'm wrong. I mean,
I don't think they do help him.
No, I don't think they do either. I don't think they can. I mean, like what I'm saying, though, is they may have casual, he may know people that work for the foundation over a phone call, say, hey, call this guy. Yeah, I'm sure that happens, but that's no direct affiliation. So we shall see.
When we streamed on Ustream, we had a chat room, and it was like YouTube. We could tell when we had to ban people in the chat room where they were from. And we banned a lot of people
from the foundation.
Yeah. I mean,
that's funny.
And at one point, they had banned Ustream from the foundation because they were all in our chat room.
What were they? Were they bitching and moaning?
They would just, they had proper jokes and crap.
Okay. All right. But yeah, so do you plan on ever bringing your chat room back? You just had enough.
We got a chat room on YouTube, and on that chat room you can actually ban them. The chat room we had on the app, you could ban them, but they'd change their names. It had nothing to do with
they'd come right back.
Right back?
Yeah.
You know what?
And they're using people's names, real people's names.
What is? I mean, what are people like that? Don't they have lives?
Evidently not. I mean, it got pretty bad yesterday. It got.
Tell me about it. My Twitter feed has been. It's just been. I mean, I've got Nebraska and Iowa fans gang. That's what I think. Nebraska and Iowa fans hate each other, but they are so united behind certain causes. I've had a bunch of Iowa and Nebraska fans just attacking me for reporting on the national anthem thing. I'm a traitor. Send me to Gitmo. Stuff, stuff. And it's just.
You can report live from Gitmo.
Gitmo, yeah. We could do a.
You know that everybody that got sent to Gitmo,
they're out of there now, right?
Back, yeah, it's back here.
It didn't work.
No.
But if I was in Gitmo, would you do a show there? You and Ann would come down and you'd come down and visit. You'd go. You could make it a week in Miami.
They'd do it.
You spend about an hour with me in Gitmo, but then you're gone for a week doing a vacation. What do you think of that?
Well, we're still tossing around the crown idea.
I think I've already told you what you. But Tom, I just don't see how the crown's going to happen.
Tossing around, if it's the crown, you'll go.
No, we were just there.
But are you convinced? I'm not convinced the crown can happen if they don't have enough players. And if they're going to coach in the crown, are they going to do that with or without Fran?
Oh, I have no idea.
See, there's just
we don't know.
Are they going to already hire and bring in a new coach? Is Darren DeVries going to lead them out to Vegas in the crown with like 6 players? I mean, there's just so much uncertainty. I just don't see. I could see the NIT since it starts Tuesday and whatever. I just don't see how the crown's going to work with so much possible roster uncertainty. But we'll see.
Do you think? And I think I know the answer to this. Do you think Beth Getz figures into the crown into her thought process?
Oh, without question, yes. I do think so. Yes, I do think so. So, but who knows? Maybe they'll end up going out there. Wayne Newton will sing to them, and they'll win some games. But like I said, I just have been told that there could be some, if Fran's gone. I mean, obviously it happens at every place where a coach moves on. There's roster upheaval, especially now. I mean, you just race to the portal or what have you. So we'll see.
See, there's scum like in the chat room now that just posted as my wife looking for marriage counseling.
Under your wife's name?
Under my wife's
name. I just blocked. Did you get rid of them?
I just bounced them.
Yeah, people like that. It's what it is, though? It's probably this 1 or 2 people doing it, Captain.
Yeah, it's
lifeless.
Yeah. With no purpose.
No purpose other than to get on chat rooms to be mean.
No.
And message board and Twitter.
No. Sexually inadequate.
I love the ones on Twitter fighting on the front lines to save this country, And they're serious about it, I mean, they're just, God, it's just.
I am paranoid. I keep checking to see if we get anything from the university before the thing ends.
Yeah, because usually it does. I mean, it often, especially on Fridays, it seems, but I'm not seeing anything yet. And let me
well, there's always the possibility of a Friday evening dump, too.
Well, that's what they did with the softball thing. I knew that was coming. I knew they released that thing at 4:57. But nothing tops Minnesota, 119. Actually, the story was posted on their site at 112. They tweeted it at 119. And that's just not very professional.
No.
It's not a good look for the AD up there. It just did not look good. And I feel sorry for Ben Jansen. I don't think what happened at Minnesota is a reflection on his coaching. I just think they're so limited up there. Their NIL's bad. It's a tough job.
Their crowds are not
good.
Their
crowds are not good. They have not been good for a while. I mean, Iowa won the Big Ten tournament 3 years ago. Minnesota hasn't had anything like that in recent times. So whoever gets that job, they face a tall order, man. It's going to be tough.
And their biggest success was because Clem Haskins
cheated. Yeah. So sometimes cheating does prosper.
So is there anything else we need to?
No, I think that's it for now.
See, well, the baseball we talked about
the
a little bit.
Doubleheader starts at noon.
Yep.
So do they play what day are they avoiding? Tomorrow or Sunday? So Sunday's really bad. What's going on Sunday?
Just upper 40s.
God, think about that. It's hot and humid. My house was hot this morning when I woke up.
It's 70 degrees right now.
I haven't had my heat or air. I don't have anything on right now.
I'll put my air on when I get home.
It'll be interesting. I'm not going. You seriously will?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I will put my air on. at like 66
in
degrees.
March. You got the air on in March.
I had it on last week.
God.
It was hot.
Yeah, well, we'll see. Like I
I've
said,
had my air on in the car.
Well, I always got the air on. Well, it's on automatic. Whatever it puts on, it puts on.
Look at that wind. Look at it.
Yeah.
It's even stronger now than it was the last time I mentioned it 3 minutes ago.
23-mile-an-hour winds.
So we're halfway to where they said they're going to be up to 50. We're halfway there already.
Yeah.
So, well, I just want to wish you guys luck. And hopefully we're all back here tomorrow morning.
Oh, yeah. Listen, it's up to God.
Yep. Are you here tomorrow?
No.
You're like an NBA star. You don't do back-to-backs anymore, do you?
do.
Load management. You're like LeBron. Load management.
I'll go back on regular.
No, you're a pampered NBA superstar.
Next week.
That's the new thing. Load management. All right, everybody, stay safe and have a good Friday.
All right. Go Hawks, hawkfanatic.com. Check it out. It's free.